Yeah. Last time he was in, he wanted me to haul him a load of gravel and then, oh, good morning, Pastor.
Morning, Bill. How are you doing this morning? How are you gentlemen?
Great.
Happy
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Lester. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. That wasn't really in your script, that was.
Well, we just wondered what you might have for us today.
Wonder what I might have for you to do. You don't think I just come over here because I want have something for you to do you, Bill?
I know you've taken that. I know when you're here, there's always, we just wanted to do that.
Well, I really did come over this morning because I wanted to ask you some questions. I wanted to ask you some questions about your dairy businesses and just about your businesses in general.
Well, you have a cow in the backyard if you go into the dairy business?
Well, it's not exactly. I've been thinking about the complexity of the dairy business and the work and effort it must take to make it profitable, especially when the subsidies and economy and everything seem to be against you. I'd like you to tell me what it takes, not in terms of money so much, but in terms of effort and work and attitude to hang in there and make it work for you even when times are tough.
Well, you ask what it takes to hang in there and make it work. Well, first of all, it takes a committed attitude to make it go. Some days it can be normal, everything goes right, you feel good. Then there are days it just seems like every piece of equipment breaks, something goes wrong. But you got to keep your head up, because you know there are better days ahead. You also have to enjoy and believe in what you're doing. And that's a big part of it, having a positive attitude. I think another thing is to have good family and good employees to help you out in your business. It makes it go good. And also, you kind of keep with the times. You got to keep updating equipment and doing things that make it more efficient and profitable for you. And after you do these things, it makes you feel good about yourself.
I don't know, my line of work, it's a service-oriented business. The old axiom, you got to keep the customer satisfied, never held truer than what I'm doing now. I don't know, when I leave a yard, I try to leave it looking as nice as can be, as if it were my own and how I would want it to look. So service is a big part of it.
I'll listen to you young fellows talk here, and I don't think you really know what tough times are. I started out in 1931 when I took myself a wife. My dad gave me 4 cows to start with, and it was a struggle at that time. Then you boys, folks remember 1931 to the 30s. That was some tough times. But I will say it took a lot of determination, patience, struggle. And one thing we didn't do in those days, we didn't visit Duncan Inn. We were home working.
It's not that bad.
Well, looking at you, you've been through some tough times.
I don't want to say it like it is.
You asked me about probably one of the toughest things about being in the dairy business, I think, is that it's every day. It's every day. It doesn't matter how deep the mud gets. Those cows are going to be milked, and they're going to be milked twice every day, and they're going to be fed. And it doesn't matter if someone dies. It doesn't matter if the barn falls down. You can still milk those cows. And I think that's one of the most difficult things, is just to know that I can't milk them by myself either. It takes people. And that, to me, is the most difficult part of the business, is doing it every day.
You've given me a lot to think about. I can see it really does take commitment to be a good dairyman or businessman, whatever field, line of work you're in. Say, Ron, maybe you've heard some of these guys commenting on what it takes to make it go in their businesses. Isn't it all like that in running a restaurant?
It sure is. I put in 6 days a week and 14 to 18 hours a day. But I believe we're building a good future for Gladys and myself and the kids. And it's a lot of hard work, but when we get done, I think it all amounts to it. It's all worth it.
I think that you've all really laid it on the line to do a good job, whether it's in the restaurant business or landscaping, yard work, dairying, whatever. Do you think that some of the things that you fellows have been saying have some carryovers into your spiritual lives?
Yes, I think it does. I remember definitely at one time when I was working about 24 hours a day and I was pretty well put out. And I figured it wasn't worth it all. And the car pulled up in the garden and it was none other than Pastor Bengtson, who was our pastor at that time. He realized I was kind of down in the dumps, I guess, and so he started helping me out. He told me that, he said, well, Bill, he says, remember, he says, if you have any rivers that you can't, that seems uncrossable, if you have any mountains that you can't tunnel through, God specializes in these things. He can do what you can do. He does the things that others cannot do also. And that was a great help to me, and I realized from then on that I had to depend on God for help.
That's a good word, Bill.
Well, that's really moving, Bill. You know, it's really important that you share your faith with us younger people, and that's how we really get to know you. You know, I guess the way I compare the faith, the commitment to the dairy business is it's a daily thing. One of the things that I try to do in my own life, when I wake up in the morning to say a prayer, you know, asking God to use me as He will today, with whom He will, when He will, and where He will. When I go along the day, a lot of times I forget that I said that prayer. But there are times that I do remember, and that you know, we can have the kind of conversation that we're having here this morning, that I can really feel God's presence, you know, even here at Duncan. And it's that daily routine, I think, that compared to the dairy business.
Well, I believe to do my job and run my business, I need more than myself to do it. Therefore, I've always believed and trusted that God is a partner in what I do. Although I sometimes go along and get relaxed and kind of forget who He is, but suddenly I'm shook back to the realization that, hey, there's someone there that's more in charge than I am. And I always believed that I need the fellowship of the church, the people in the community, to make my life meaningful and useful. And I hope I can share my life with people around me in the community and in the church fellowship.
As I said before, my occupation is service. I think that's a big part of one's spiritual life. The willingness to serve, and when you have a chance to serve, to be willing to do so.
Those are some really good thoughts. I think that, as I think about Bill and Vern, Bill, Dale, what each one of you have said, you know, we do need to be serving, we do need to commit ourselves. I think that if each one of us, including me, would put as much work and effort into developing our spiritual lives as we tend to do in developing and making our business and church programs, for that matter, succeed, I wonder what it would really look like if we really decided to give God our lives and really commit everything to Him. I wonder if it would look differently than it looks now.
Okay.
Birthday cake is one of the best breakfasts I've had. Thanks a lot.
Let's spend it.